Last time I spoke to you about spirit guides, and I tried to show some of the misconceptions that people have regarding spirit guides. There was a few funny bits at the beginning with Papa Lazaro, and I was sorry to hear that nobody actually commented on Papa Lazaro. You seem to ignore it, so maybe I'll be a bit silly this time and nobody will spot that as well. Now I'm going to talk in particular today about angel feathers. Now, I sometimes read in magazines, sometimes magazines I've written for and well in the past, people saying about the meaning of finding angel feathers, right? They say that, for example, a black feather might be a symbol of something difficult coming into your life, a death even. A white feather shows that the angels are with you, and this is a sign of purity and love. Pink feather could represent things like hearts and emotions, and that the angels of emotions are around you. A yellow one, I can't even remember. There's lots of different colour meanings for all the different feathers, right? But it kind of strikes me as a bit daft, that whole idea, if you ask me, and I'll explain why. That's not that I'm against the idea of angels. It's just that I've got the angel of cough with me still. It's not that I'm against the whole idea of angels, it's the whole silliness that seems to go with this whole concept. Just think of it this way, okay, you come across an angel feather and that's supposed to mean something. Now most reasonable people will say that's a bird feather, you know. So what if we were trying to change it a bit? What, instead of finding feathers, we found dog turds. We found dog turds, and we interpreted the different colours of the dog turds. You know, a black dog turd could represent death. You know, a pinky dog turd, if there's such a thing, could show that the dog of love is with you, or the demon that could be with these dog turds, couldn't it? Or what if we found the rare white dog turd? You know, I used to find those as a child all the time, rarer than the white angel feathers, but the white dog turd could represent purity and love around you, couldn't it? Right? So now, when you start, you know, I'm being a bit trite there, but you know, when you look at it seriously, it's just as likely more likely, in fact, in my case, to stumble upon a dog turd than you are to a feather. So why should we put huge significance every time anybody comes across a feather, right? You know, there's no logic to it, really, is there? And I have to really, so for me, this is one huge misconception. And you see people writing whole books about it. You see people writing in magazines about it. You see videos out there with loads of people talking about these things with utmost, seriousness and sincerity. You know, this angel's with you, and I'm the angel ladies and angel women and angel this, that's and the others, and they all have these angel sights. I'm sorry, I can't subscribe to that. Now this is why. Now I'm a medium, so I don't say that the spirit world doesn't exist. Of course it exists. That's what I spend most of my life trying to prove to people and give proof and evidence that the spirit world exists. I don't say that angels don't exist, but what are angels? I spoke last week about spirit guides. And that's really the same thing, isn't it? I mean, a guide is a spirit person that helps us, which can connect with us intuitively, can connect with us in a way on our soul level, and perhaps these angelic beings, I don't like the word angel, but these angelic beings are perhaps higher spirits, enlightened souls, bodhisattvas as the Buddhists call them, or what do they call, or avatars in India. You know, these are perhaps high beings that help us with our spiritual growth. Because I'm sure the way it all works is we all kind of help each other up the spiritual ladder, don't we? People in this life that you know will help you, and people in the spirit world will help us and in the spirit world, the higher beings will help other spirit beings climb up the ladder, as it were. So we're all moving up the ladder of consciousness. So there must be higher beings helping us right the way up to the absolute highest levels of existence. And frankly, the word angel came about. It was an old English word that was from angle, I think it was, with a sharp G, angle, which was basically meant messenger. Right? So it only means messenger. It didn't say anything about wings and feathers. And a lot of religions don't even believe in the idea that angels have wings at all. I mean, the Mormons, for example, what was the guy that did that? It was Joseph Smith, wasn't it? He said that an angel of God never has wings. And actually, although I don't agree with pretty much everything the Mormons say, I do agree with that statement, because these angelic beings are not beings with wings. And so it's very frustrating when you get this. Where did all that come from? Because when you look back, you can see in like pre-Christian stuff, angelic type winged beings, winged animals particularly, in the times of the Sumerians, for example, and winged men and things in the times of Sumer and Babylon and those times. So these ideas were being brought forward into all the Middle Eastern religions, which includes Judaism and Christianity and so forth. And if you look at your Bible, there's not many references to the idea of feathers and wings at all. The whole wing concept, again, which was all tied up in Roman gods as well and Greek gods, but the whole wing concept was a symbol of transcendence. It represented a being that was higher than us that could fly, right? So with all this nonsense about finding a feather, we're talking about symbols becoming an actual reality. No. But saying that, though, I don't want to discount everything about some of these things, because there are often seen in the environment what the ancient Greeks used to be very aware of, which was the idea of auspicious signs. They'd see it in landscapes, in things that happened, in overheard words, in birds you see, and things you'd see, and it goes right the way back into primitive cultures too. In Africa, my granddad used to describe to me how when he was a pioneer in Africa, they used to have all sorts. They saw if the people walking with him saw a particular animal, they wouldn't walk anywhere near that area again because it was bad luck. So all these ideas of seeing signs and symbols around us have very ancient origins, and I think do also have a lot of sense with them too, in a spiritual sense. And I'd have to go into much more depth of this with the idea of coincidences and what Carl Jung used to call synchronicity. Right. So, for example, Carl Jung spoke about having dreams of his spirit guide, his inner guide. He wouldn't call it a spirit guide. He called it his inner guide, a Philemon, if I got the name pronounced right, who had kingfisher wings. And he had the dream about Philemon, and then found by the lake in Zurich some kingfisher wings in an area where kingfishers don't exist. Right. So there's these interesting synchronicities that can come. But I think this whole business, this whole fad, this whole craziness that's going on about finding angel wings and what they mean, seeing them everywhere, is not really synchronicity in the same way that Jung would have described it there, and I've talked about. It was more about people's fantasy. It's fantasy, fantasy, fantasy. I don't mean to say that you don't get signs at times of death and things, but I think we've got to be a bit cautious about all this different colour meanings. So that's it, and I expect the angels, I'm going to probably get some bird shit on me when I go out because the angels might not like that, right? But that's it, so okay, sorry if I offend anybody there with my ideas, but I think sometimes we just get too carried away. If we're going to be mediums and we're going to give proof of life after death, we've got to be logical, sensible people as well. We don't want to get so much fantasy mixed up in what we say that we end up with nobody in their right mind believing this type of thing. So there we go. So thanks for your comments last week. Please put comments in below, and look, do share these videos if you will, because I'm trying to get various messages out there. So if you agree with the things I'm saying, share it and we can reach more people. Okay, thanks. Bye for now. Check out our website for more stuff. You can book psychic readings with us and find out about our public events, or watch our fantastic movie called Mystic Journey to India. It's a mind-boggling adventure that's now showing on Amazon Prime. And if you want to learn more, you can find out about my books and courses. Check out Messages from the Universe that reveals the ancient secrets of existence, or read my book called Psychic School to discover and enhance your own psychic skills. Or how about What to Do When You're Dead, my book about the afterlife and what it's like. All this plus lots more, lots of new articles and videos, all on my fascinating website.